I read the book 15 Dogs by Andre Lexus, and I must say, what the heck? I was not expecting a book to be, this real? Kind of ironic, because my dog's barking in the background. Hold on. Okay, let's get down to it. So I realized that this book is actually mimicking humanity, like the one we're living in now. It's kind of mocking the things that we do, the positive things, the negative things, the balance between. It's kind of weird. It kind of shows us that there's all these aspects of life, So for the positive aspects, there's sympathy, acceptance, and realization. So sympathy, as you must know, is an acting feature in the human mind. People feel sympathy consciously and unconsciously. It's just who we are. Just like that one time Benji bumped into Majnan. Majnan felt obligated to do something. He felt something that he really hasn't felt before. The fear that Majnan sensed from Benji was just like the fear he felt himself when he was lying in Hyde Park alone and in pain that one night. So, being a good buddy he is, he sympathizes. Acceptance is a key factor for our growing personalities and souls. I know it sounds crazy, but accepting others allows for you to accept yourself. Just like that one time Nira suggested going back to Hyde Park. She explained that she was worried that it'd be unpleasant for him to recall his trauma, but Majnan was surprisingly all about it. Majnan accepts what happened to him that night, and he's moving past it to grow as a dog. Realization. No, it's not the type of realization when you remember that this assignment is due tonight. The type of realization I'm talking about is realizing your potential. Agatha, the old dog, was in constant and terrible pain and had been left at the clinic to be put down. She could find no point in going on with the others. Agatha sees her own potential and she's like, oh, okay, what's the point of you guys going with me if I'm just going to slow you down? So she made the decision to stay at the clinic like a wise dog. Not sure what the other dog said, but I'm pretty sure it went something along these lines. Obviously, it is always an instinct to do what is right, but positivity is easily brushed off as it's just expected from everyone. But if you take a step back, you actually realize that there's a lot more good happening in the world than the eye can see. Negativity, we meet again. Now it's the negative aspects. Boo. There are examples of violence, alienation, and cases of being judgmental in this book. Again, boo. Believe it or not, there's a lot of violence and crime in this book. Like a surprising amount. 15 Dogs shows how real a situation can get when it actually happens to you firsthand. The emotions explained about what had happened in that coppice that horrific night is that the grip of what felt like instinct was only anger. They might have killed any number of dogs. Clearly, the dogs were bloodthirsty, and it did not matter to them who they killed or why they killed them. They just did it to do it. Doesn't that sound really familiar? Yeah, it happens to us all the time. Alienation is very prevalent in this book. Especially since 15 dogs can speak a language no other being can, it's very easy to exclude others. Every day, humans are ignored due to the fact that their beliefs do not align with others. Commonly, these type of disagreements can lead to a great divide between two sides. An example in the human world is the argument against pro-life and pro-choice. For those who strongly believe in their own opinion, are willing to have relationships broken due to their stances. Judgment is another thing that is a horrible sin to admit, but every being in this world does it. It's what keeps people sane. In the book, Majnan made it very clear to Nira that he did not like being touched by humans who smelled unpleasantly. Just like humans, he is judging people just by the surface. He doesn't know anything about who is petting him. He has no idea about their lives. So how is it fair to judge him like that? Balance is needed in everything. Life, buildings, basically anything that's standing today. The harmony between good and bad is what makes people who they are. It's complicated. Benefiting from negative experiences is one of them. You need to use your negative experiences to help you grow from them and prevent them from happening again. So when Benji was left home alone and he was so helpless and hungry, he was concerned for the mousetraps that should have been really, really safe, but he recognized the smell of the poison, and it reminded him of the Garden of Death. He accepts his past and uses it as an advantage of knowing that the rat poison is in fact deadly. Another one is the use of common sense, something that is so familiar to us that it's hard to pinpoint it in our day-to-day lives. Alexis describes that most dogs understood how Majnan had opened his cell. Simply common sense. They use their intelligence to benefit them by watching and learning. Needs and wants is a big one. It's important to understand what is wanted and what is needed from a person. Benji was wishing for the world to be a better place than as he left it. A dog wishing that humanity would be better? Even a dog recognizes that there's trouble on Earth. Benji sees the good and the bad and makes a decision based on both. A balance. Clearly, negative experiences and positive experiences build one into the character they are. If you didn't go through what you went through, how could you have survived up until now? It's clear it's always every man for themselves. One comes into this world alone and one leaves alone, so what's the point of worrying about other people? Just worry about yourself. Experiences make people who they are, and it's important to never forget that. Thank you for watching.